Today is not ordinary. Today arrives with instruction, with momentum, with an invitation to step into command of your own life. This morning is not waiting for permission. It is waiting for leadership. Before the noise begins, before the demands start pulling at your attention, this moment belongs to clarity. This moment belongs to alignment. This moment belongs to you deciding who you will be today and how you will move through the world. Begin this day by centering your thoughts, not drifting, not reacting, but choosing. Choose focus over distraction. Choose intention over habit. Choose strength over delay. What you give your attention to in the morning quietly shapes the outcomes you experience by nightfall. When the mind is ordered, energy follows direction. When energy follows direction, results are inevitable. Intentional beginnings are the quiet decisions made before the world demands anything from you. They happen in the unseen moments when no one is watching, yet they carry the power to shape everything that follows. When you begin with intention, you are not surrendering your day to chance, mood, or circumstance. You are establishing direction before distraction has a voice. The way a day starts often determines the posture you carry through it. A rushed beginning trains the mind to operate in urgency and reaction, while a deliberate beginning teaches the mind to respond with clarity and control. Intention slows chaos and creates internal order, allowing you to move forward with awareness rather than pressure. Intentional beginnings give meaning to movement. Instead of doing things simply to stay busy, you begin to act with purpose. Every choice becomes connected to a larger vision rather than isolated moments of effort. This alignment reduces wasted energy and strengthens focus, making progress feel steady instead of exhausting. When intention leads, emotions no longer control the direction of the day. Feelings are acknowledged without being allowed to dictate outcomes. This creates emotional stability, which becomes a foundation for consistency. Stability does not remove challenges, but it prevents challenges from destabilizing your inner state. Powerful outcomes are rarely the result of sudden bursts of effort. They are built through repeated intentional starts that reinforce discipline over time. Each deliberate beginning strengthens confidence because it reminds you that you can choose how you show up regardless of external conditions. Intentional beginnings also reshape how obstacles are interpreted. Resistance is no longer viewed as a threat, but as a signal of growth. With intention in place, challenges become moments of refinement rather than reasons to stop. This perspective transforms pressure into progress. Clarity established at the start of the day sharpens decision-making later. When priorities are defined early, distractions lose their power. You are less likely to say yes to what drains you and more likely to commit to what builds you. This clarity protects time, energy, and focus. An intentional beginning trains the mind to think long-term instead of reacting short-term. It encourages patience without passivity and action without chaos. Over time, this mindset creates resilience, allowing you to remain steady even when outcomes are delayed. The discipline of intentional beginnings compounds quietly. Each day adds structure to your habits and strengthens self-trust. When you consistently start with purpose, you begin to believe in your own ability to follow through, and that belief fuels greater responsibility and courage. Powerful outcomes emerge naturally from this pattern. They are not forced or chased, but attracted through alignment, consistency, and awareness. What you intentionally plant at the beginning becomes what you eventually experience in results. Self-leadership begins the moment you decide that your inner world will not be ruled by external noise. It is the practice of choosing response over impulse and awareness over automatic behavior. Instead of being pulled by every demand, emotion, or interruption, you learn to pause and take ownership of how you move through situations. Reaction is fast but often unexamined. It rises from habit, fear, or past experience rather than present clarity. Self-leadership slows that process just enough to allow choice to enter the moment. In that pause, power is reclaimed and direction is restored. When you lead yourself, emotions no longer disappear, but they are placed in proper order. Feelings are acknowledged without being given control of decisions. This balance allows you to act with emotional intelligence rather than emotional urgency, preserving clarity even under pressure. Self-leadership builds consistency. Instead of acting differently based on mood or circumstance, your actions align with values and intention. This steadiness creates trust, both within yourself and with others, because your responses become predictable in their integrity rather than reactive in their intensity. Reaction often seeks relief, while self-leadership seeks results. Immediate comfort is replaced with long-term clarity. This shift allows you to endure discomfort without abandoning purpose, strengthening discipline, and expanding resilience. Leading yourself also means managing internal dialogue. Thoughts are observed instead of believed automatically. Negative narratives are challenged and empowering perspectives are reinforced. Over time, this mental discipline reshapes behavior and strengthens confidence. Pressure reveals the difference between reaction and leadership. When tension rises, reaction looks for escape or defense. Self-leadership looks for strategy and alignment. This ability to remain composed under stress becomes a defining strength. Self-leadership transforms conflict into opportunity for growth. Instead of escalating situations, you choose de-escalation and clarity. You become less concerned with winning arguments and more focused on preserving progress and peace. As self-leadership becomes a habit, reactions lose their grip. You no longer feel controlled by circumstances or other people's behavior. Your sense of agency strengthens and decision-making becomes intentional rather than emotional. This way of living creates inner stability that does not depend on external validation. You move with calm authority guided by purpose rather than provocation. Responding from strength instead of reflex. Action is often misunderstood as something that follows motivation, when in reality, it is what creates it. Waiting to feel ready can become a silent form of delay, keeping progress just out of reach. When you act first, energy begins to move, and movement naturally generates clarity and confidence. Motivation is unreliable because it depends on emotion, and emotions shift constantly. Action does not wait for emotional alignment. It operates from decision and discipline. The smallest step forward breaks stagnation and signals the mind that progress has begun. Momentum is built through repetition, not intensity. One consistent action taken daily carries more power than occasional bursts of effort fueled by excitement. As action becomes habitual, resistance weakens and forward movement feels more natural. When action leads, fear loses influence. Fear thrives in stillness and uncertainty, but movement exposes it as manageable. Each step forward proves capability, replacing doubt with evidence of progress. Action creates structure. Out of chaos or overwhelm, there is a clear sequence of steps that guide focus. This structure reduces mental fatigue and makes progress feel achievable rather than overwhelming. Waiting for motivation places control outside yourself. Taking action restores agency. You stop asking how you feel and start deciding what you will do. This shift strengthens self-trust and personal authority. Momentum also sharpens learning. Through action, mistakes become feedback rather than failure. Adjustments happen in real time, accelerating growth and improving skill through experience rather than theory. Action builds confidence in ways motivation never can. Confidence grows from proof, and proof comes from doing. Each completed step reinforces belief in your ability to follow through. As momentum builds, effort feels lighter. What once required discipline begins to feel natural. The mind adapts to movement, and progress becomes part of identity rather than a temporary phase. Lasting change is sustained by action taken even on days when enthusiasm is absent. Discipline carries progress forward, ensuring momentum continues regardless of mood or circumstance.